Jay Fowler asked me to be on this because he knew we were pursuing the Kendall building as a potential redevelopment for 616 Lofts, which is going to be heavily infused with residents that will be living in the upper floors. And so he wanted me to be involved just to make sure I had a say in what was going essentially in front of our front door. As he his hope was that it could be some sort of an amenity actually for our tenants. Really, it's kind of there's a lot of concrete. There's not a ton of usability to it. There's not a lot of the modern parks features like clear lines of vision, safety. The purpose of the park and kind of the guiding principles of the steering committee has been to make sure we're maintaining obviously the historic piece of it. Make sure it is a memorial. It's not something like Rosa Parks where it's a venue that is supposed to be used for entertainment or anything. But that doesn't mean it has to be a somber, place. I mean, it can be repurposed to be real full of green. It's got great greenery right in the center of the city. So that will be maintained with the next beautification. Really, they just need to be updated to modern park standards. It needs to be something that welcomes people of all ages. And what's interesting is the Children's Museum is right smack dab in between these memorials, and so we have this thing in our head that memorials are this somber, scary, bad place. At least I do. And so you have a children's museum that pumps hundreds of thousands of people through there every year. And so the thought that's been brought up a lot in the steering committee has been how do we make these maybe welcoming even for children to be educated on the Civil War and what the Civil War was, and are there visually storytelling things that we can infuse in this park as a part of the infusion of all these children that will be naturally running all through the green space, or is it just going to be green space for the kids? So there's no decision on that yet, but I would love to see some sort of story being told that a child could kind of go from one place to another and kind of in a real healthy way understand maybe what the Civil War was. As I see, as we repurpose and kind of beautify this park, I believe that it's going to pull people all the way down the street, and not only keep them intrigued with what is happening on that corner of the Kendall Building and Children's Museum and Reynolds and Sons. Hopefully it's beautiful enough to want to have them circle the block and pull them into the retail. I mean, I think you need that good greenery, just to be a focal point to draw people in before they can see kind of the retail and what's there. So you have a lot of different people, hundreds of thousands of people coming to both of the spaces next to us. And so we ask ourselves at that point, what do those people want? If you're going to watch a play at the Civic Theater, what do you want to do before or after that? And so how can that complement, how can our retail be an amenity for those people? And you go to the other side in the Children's Museum, and so, do we do a frozen yogurt place, for all the children? Or do we go for a place that's family friendly that the parents can have maybe a much needed drink after they go to the Children's Museum for 4 hours? I think I've been there. So, when we look at placemaking, we kind of take the reverse, approach to it, where we are so confident in filling our upper floors with our market rate apartments. That and what's around it dictates what we like to put in our retail. When Jay Fowler asked me to be on this, I was flattered because we're making such a large investment into downtown Grand Rapids. We would love to be a part of these real important decisions. We represent not just us, but a huge loft community of all of our different residents that make up 616 Lofts, and they all have a say, and they all love downtown. They all love green space. They all love public spaces. So anytime that we can be involved in a decision-making process like this, we take it very seriously, because it has a real profound effect on our community, which we love.